My name is Steve Dempsey and I'm the Assistant Director of Continuing Education here at Impromed. Today I would like to take you on a tour of our integration with LifeLearn ClientEd online documentation. It is an integration that we are extremely excited about and one that we believe will greatly assist your practice in delivering outstanding documentation to your customers that will help them to better understand how to care for their pets. I want to start off by discussing some of the setup that's involved just so that you can see how quick and easy it is to do. You will receive a username and a password from LifeLearn. And those are two bits of information that you want to keep handy for the rest of the setup process. You're also going to receive a file that's called LifeLearn ClientEd sync.jar. We're going to go ahead and locate that file. I actually have it right on my desktop here. We're going to go in and double click on the LifeLearn ClientEd sync.jar, and this will open up the sync manager. Within this manager, you will enter your username and password, determine where the file should be placed, what file format to use, and whether to use the header provided by LifeLearn or the one provided by Infinity. For the path, you will want to select what you see on the screen. So it's going to be d:\idocs/documents/ClientEd online. Otherwise, you can use the folder button to navigate directly to that path. For the file format, you have some different options, but you're going to want to make sure that you select doc. Doc is what we need for Infinity. And for the header, it's going to be completely up to you, whether you decide to use the one provided by LifeLearn or the one provided by Infinity. With that information all filled out, we're going to slide over to the Schedule tab, and we're going to select to enable the schedule. Once the schedule has been enabled, you're going to want to make sure that you select that you want the schedule to run every day at 12 a.m. or the first opportunity if missed. So I'm going to go ahead and select 12 a.m. We're going to save that. And at this point, we are able to sync. If I choose sync now, it will go through the synchronization process. And the first time you run the sync will take maybe a few minutes to process because there are 1,100 documents, actually more than 1,100 documents that need to be brought across into the iDocs folder to be used within Infinity. From this point forward though, you saw just how fast that sync went when I chose sync now. That's how fast your sync will work in the future. So please keep that in mind. It's not going to take several minutes every single time. It will grab the new and updated documents when the sync is run. So at this point, we're completely set up as far as the sync goes. I'm going to close out of the sync, close out of the folder that .jar file was located in, and we're going to head on into Infinity. Within Infinity, we need to go through a little bit of setup here as well. The setup that's involved is very, very simple though. We're going to go to the Infinity logo in the upper left-hand corner, select File, and Global Preferences. Now, typically, you already have your global Infinity document storage set up. You've got the location configured because you've probably been using it for other things within Infinity. But you're going to want to make sure that you check the checkbox using LifeLearn ClientEd online documents. With that checkbox checked, we're going to select OK in the upper right-hand corner, and now we can proceed with using the LifeLearn documentation within the Documents module of Infinity. To access the Documents module, you can double-click on the printer and select Documents. This will take us into the Documents module, and you'll actually see right away that we have our LifeLearn ClientEd online documents, and they are all displayed on the screen. In the upper left-hand corner, you will see each of the patients under the current client. So Kim Bernico has one patient named Clara. I would want to make sure I check the checkbox for Clara to make sure that the documentation that's selected gets placed into Clara's medical records. Moving down a little further, we can use our search to search the documentation for specific words. You can choose to search any of the words selected or all of the words that have been selected to narrow down your selection and make sure you have the exact document that you're looking for. We also have the ability to sort by a couple of different things. We have by species. So if I only wanted to see those documents that were specific to dogs, I could check the checkbox for dogs. If I wanted to add in the cat documentation, it would add in the cats, and so on. You could choose to select all, which will include all documentation within the selection. I'm actually going to clear my selection and only select those documents for dogs. We're then going to go down to the topics. And we can either choose to select everything, or we can just select one or a couple of different topics. I'll go ahead and pick behavior, and we'll choose infectious diseases, medications, and nutrition. So my selection has now been narrowed down to only those topics. If I instead wanted to search based on the systems, I could select circulatory, and that's going to show me just the documents that fall under circulatory. Now, when I have the document that I'd like to print off, I would check the checkbox next to it. At the top of the screen, we have the option to preview this document, which will open it up in Word. Otherwise, we can print the document right out to our printer. But before we do this, I want to talk about one additional setting that's extremely important. It determines where the document goes after it's been printed. So we'll select the pencil over on the right-hand side of the screen. Here, we have an option right here that says Medical Records Options. You can save the document name to Medical Records, and really all that's going to do is let Medical Records know that that document was created. We can save a link directly to the document in Medical Records. And what's great about that is you can locate the document and click on it right from within the Medical Record module to open it up and view it without having to come back into the Documents module. Otherwise, you can ask each time that the document is printed to decide whether you want to save just the name or you want to link that file directly into the patient's medical record. Now, my personal preference is the middle of the three options. That way you are always making sure that when you're looking at Clara's medical record, you're going to be able to quickly click on that document and display it on the screen and print it off again if necessary. I have, however, seen several practices have this set to ask each time to give them the option every time that they print a document out. So I'm going to actually go with my settings, the one that I like, and we'll hit OK here. We'll choose anemia for dogs, and now I'm going to preview the document to show you what this document will look like. I'm going to select the provider. This allows me to place it directly into the patient's medical record under the correct provider. And here we'll see the documentation. I had it selected to display the header as provided by LifeLearn, so it's going to drop in my practice information. And then here we have the document that can be printed off and sent home with the customer. So I'm going to go ahead and preview and print this off. We can close out. Now when I slide over to the History tab, we will see the history of this document being printed. So there it is, anemia in dogs. I can open up this file if I want to. This also tells me that a medical record link was created. And that's what the setting was that we selected within the pencil to make sure that that document goes into the medical records. So let's slide over to the medical record module, and we get there by going back to the front desk and selecting medical records. Under link, we should now see anemia for dogs, and there it is. We can click on that document. It displays the title and the file location. We would now select display to display the Word document that we have just created and printed off for our customer. So at any time in the future, if you want to see this document, simply go into that patient's medical record and choose to display it on your screen, and then again, you can reprint it to send home with the customer. So that is an overview of this great integration. It's a very quick and easy integration to both set up and to use, and it's one that, like I said a little earlier, we are extremely excited to have as a part of Infinity. If you have any questions about this integration from the Infinity side, don't hesitate to give us a call here at Impromed at 1-800-925-7171, and we'd be happy to help you with any questions that you may have to get you set up and proceed with using LifeLearn ClientEd online documents within Infinity. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.